One thing that a lot of people struggle with is external rotation of the shoulder, both in terms of strength and endurance problems, but as well as just general mobility and control. So this is an important motion for obviously things like throwing, different movements like in the golf swing, the trail arm, how it needs to rotate in that position. So we're going to go over a little exercise called arm or shoulder lift-offs, which is going to help kind of dial in there. So this is really going to focus on rotator cuff, but also the scapula of the shoulder blade. So first we just start without anything, any kind of block. And what I'm doing, my arms just, elbows about shoulder height, maybe a little higher. And then what I do is I just try to lift the hand just through the shoulder joint. So you're not seeing me like shrug or like move my back. I don't want to see a lot of lower back involvement. Honestly, there should be no tightening of the back muscles at all for this. And one big key here is I need space between the front of the shoulder and the ground. In fact, if you don't, and we're kind of slouched forward like a lot of us are, you find you won't even really be able to do it, and it actually might hurt. So once you get the hang of working on that kind of lifting the arm up, then we start to introduce the objects to lift off of. So right now I'm using a yoga block, so it's about 3 inches off the ground. And what I do is I kind of start with the rotation, get the joint in the best position. I get my shoulder blade to engage, and then I lift. So I can go, I can do this in sets. It's really important to go slow and controlled. I can maybe hold on the 5th rep and try to keep this, position without letting it fall. All the while I'm really trying to see if I can get a little bit further. Do a few here. So my palms down, I can go thumb up. Go back to palm down. So I'm really trying to get my shoulder blade involved as well. So that's trying to anchor the arm there. So what you can do is you can start to progress by stacking higher objects. So all I do is rotate this over, get in that position, lift. I mentioned before, it's going to be hard to not have your back and your glutes on, but try. It's going to make it a little bit more effective. If I really want to get crazy here, I don't even know if this is possible. I'm going to come all the way up to here. Barely. So this is one of those exercises that's kind of harder than it looks. So once you get the hang of it, then you can play around with different arm slots. So maybe I come up a little bit higher and lift. Same thing, go the thumb up. The higher up our arm goes, the more the shoulder blade's going to be involved versus the rotator cuff. So this is just laying on the ground in the prone position. You can also do this in a doorway or standing to help kind of,
For the standing version, it's a doorway or a corner of a wall. So everything's the same. I bring the arm up, but now I can play with different positions of my torso. So I can start in this position. I can rotate out in this position. First thing, I got to let the traps, the upper part of the shoulder relax, get my core involved so my ribs don't flare out and stick out and my back's not really compressing, and get my head and chin in neutral position. From there, lift, down, lift, down. Like I said, I can play with different positions here. So up, down, I can come all the way out, up, down. I can get staggered stance, almost like throwing. I can raise up, focus on that. And it should be like a synced 1-2 feeling here of engaging back here, but also in the shoulder blade. Without the shoulder blade, the rotator cuff and the shoulder itself tends to get torqued, and it won't feel good, and you're probably not going to get as good a result. So these are just shoulder lift-offs or arm lift-offs. Really good for rotator cuff, scapular stability.